Next we have a few shapes on a grid, and it doesn't make it, when the shapes are on the grid, the only thing we have to do is we have to figure out, like, hey, what's the base, what's the height. It's just not given, but we can count it up. It's still pretty simple to do. So if you look at number 7, hopefully you know, hey, number 7 is a parallelogram. And then the area for a parallelogram is just base times height. Okay, what we need to remember, or what I always tell you guys, is the base runs horizontal and the height runs vertical. So if I look at the figure, I'm going to choose this is my base. And it really doesn't matter where you pick the horizontal line, as long as you go from one side of the parallelogram to the other side. Okay, but I wouldn't want to start at here, because it doesn't start at like at the beginning of one square. This one does, and it also ends at a square. So then to figure out the base, all I need to do is count up how many squares across does it go. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares across. And then the height, again, as long as you go from the top of the parallelogram to the bottom, doesn't matter where you are on the parallelogram, as long as you go from the top to the bottom, you can find the height. And the height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares high. So that's the base, that's the height. Plug it into the formula. Area is base times height. Well, that's 45. And this one doesn't, when it doesn't have like units like inches or meters or yards, we'll just go ahead and write units squared here. And that's the area of the parallelogram. Okay. And what this means, remember, is there's actually 45 little squares in here that I could create. So that's number 7. If you look at number 8, you should look at that and think, hey, that's a trapezoid. And then for a trapezoid, this is the formula we've been using. The height times base 1 and base 2, the sum of base 1 and base 2, all divided by 2. Now remember, the bases are the parallel sides. So this is base 1, and then this is the other parallel side. This would be base 2. And again, we just need to count how far across does it go. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 across. And then this base goes from here to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 across. And then the height, again, just go from the very top all the way down to the bottom. That's going to be our height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the height is 9. I'm going to take these values, plug it into the formula. Area equals the height times base 1 plus base 2, all divided by 2. I'm not going to simplify this too much, but I can add the 11 and the 20, and then just say 9 times 31 divided by 2. And we get 139.5. And again, that's units squared. And the last figure on a grid is this triangle. Here's the triangle. You guys know it's a triangle, but you may not remember the formula. The formula is base times height divided by 2. Again, base, no surprise, it's horizontal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know the base is 4. And the height, you just got to make sure you go from the very top of the triangle all the way down to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the height. Plug it into the formula. 4 times 5 divided by 2. That's 20 divided by 2. That's 10. And again, that's units squared.